Welcome back to today's Explainer, where we're going to peel back the layers on 3 supposedly true, chilling accounts that prove real life is often far scarier than fiction. Today, we're bringing these experiences into full HD clarity, really zooming in on the raw, granular details of these terrifying encounters to see exactly how fast everyday normalcy can just vanish. So, think about this for a second. What actually happens when our everyday routines, catching a rideshare, enjoying a quiet night at home, going for a holiday drive, are suddenly hijacked by the unknown? We map out our lives expecting a certain predictability, right? But as the source material for today's Explainer shows us, that predictability is incredibly fragile. It completely exposes the illusion of safety we all carry around with us. Just listen to this deeply unsettling realization from our very first story. It's funny how much trust you put in someone sitting right behind you. Let's dig into exactly how that blind trust was totally shattered for one unsuspecting driver. Story number 1, the late night rideshare, a 2 a.m. pickup. Picture this. Our driver's working a late night shift in a beat-up 2005 Volvo. He picks up a passenger from a pitch-black, completely deserted convenience store parking lot. Right away, the tension spikes. The passenger gets in wearing this torn, unwashed hoodie and aggressively demands the radio be turned off. He's got this deep, raspy voice, and it instantly shifts the mood in the car, leading to a deeply disturbing story, and eventually, a nail-biting police encounter. The guy starts playing this wild psychological game. He claims to be an ex-Uber driver who was recently robbed by some punks. Then he leans forward and asks this highly inappropriate question. Did you ever pick up someone you shouldn't have? But the detail that will literally make your blood run cold, he smiled the entire time he talked about his supposed robbery. Inside that tight space, the passenger's behavior grows intensely erratic. He shifts from bizarrely mumbling frantic apologies to thin air, literally whispering, "I didn't mean it," to full-blown criminal evasion. He suddenly demands the driver pull over for a missed turn. Then, a passing police car's spotlight sweeps over the Volvo, and the passenger instantly slaps himself completely flat on the back seat to avoid being seen. When he finally gets out, he just looks at the driver and says he got lucky. Fast forward a few weeks, the driver is reading a local news article, and the horrifying realization hits him. That darkened convenience store, just 2 blocks away from the pickup, it had been robbed the exact same night this guy got into his back seat. He had literally been inches away from a dangerous criminal for the entire ride. Story number 2, the isolated Oregon cabin, seeking silence. Now we're shifting from the claustrophobia of a car to the absolute crushing isolation of the dense woods in the Pacific Northwest. After a traumatic event, our protagonist developed phonophobia. Now, this isn't just a dislike of noise. It's a severe condition causing intense physical symptoms from loud sounds, described almost like a chest-tingling sensation when your foot falls asleep. Desperate for peace, they sought out a remote, pine-scented Oregon cabin. Absolutely zero noise. No sirens, no traffic, just the wind in the trees. But that silence was broken by an eccentric neighbor named Michelle. She was this older woman with piercing blue eyes who honestly looked like she stepped right out of a Hallmark movie with a little basket of preserves. That is, until she delivered this bizarre rulebook-style warning and then just stood there, perfectly motionless on the porch, for 45 agonizing seconds. Later that night, things escalate terrifyingly. Michelle shows up completely soaked in a rare thunderstorm, giving this confusing warning about someone lingering by the woodpile. A few hours pass, and there's a snapping branch outside. It's Michelle, suspiciously lurking right outside the window in the dark. This all culminates with a quiet knock, and then a burly, bearded intruder violently smashing through the front door, while our protagonist hides terrified in the bathroom, dialing 911. But here is the real twist, the absolute jaw-dropping detail the police revealed when asked to go check on Michelle next door. The officers confirmed that the neighbor's cabin had actually been abandoned for decades. There was no friendly neighbor living there. Who or what Michelle and that bearded man really were remains a complete, chilling mystery. Story number 3, the Christmas Eve drive. Nowhere to run. 2 Stanford college students originally from Ohio, Luke and Catherine, shared this tradition. A late-night, back roads drive between their family's houses on Christmas Eve. They're blasting their favorite music on these deserted, snowy roads, completely cut off from the rest of the world. Then, Luke's phone rings from an unknown number, exactly 3 times. He angrily answers that third call, expecting some late-night scammer, but he only hears faint static over the line. Slowly, the static gives way to a man's voice who chillingly delivers this exact line. "I'm not here for you. I'm here for Catherine. She's sitting right next to you." It instantly transformed a festive, private road trip into a targeted nightmare. It wasn't a wrong number, you guys. It was a highly specific threat aimed directly into the cabin of that moving car.
And this leaves us with a huge question. Instead of speaking to the caller to find out who was harassing them, Catherine panicked. In one fluid motion, she reached right over into Luke's lap and hung up the phone. She absolutely refused to explain, leaving her boyfriend completely in the dark about what on earth she might be hiding.
The sheer impossibility of the threat is what makes this one so terrifying. Think about the hyper-specific knowledge this caller possessed. Only their families knew their timeline, yet this voice in the dark knew Luke's full name, his home address, the exact timeline of a secret midnight drive, and precisely who was sitting in the passenger seat. That's not a coincidence. The Section 4. The illusion of safety. Left in the dark. Looking at all 3 of these stories, we find a deeply unsettling common thread running right through the core of the human experience. True horror, it doesn't come from supernatural monsters. It comes from the stark contrast between the expected safety of our routines, the ride shares, secluded cabins, holiday drives, and the sudden, unpredictable reality of extreme vulnerability. We all operate under this fundamental assumption that if we just follow the rules, we're secure. But our safety can be shattered in an instant by forces and people we simply cannot predict. So, I want to leave you with this final thought, based on the evidence we've explored today. The next time you get in a car or lock your front door for the night, ask yourself who or what might be waiting just outside. Are we truly in control, or are we all just hoping our luck holds out for one more day? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and as always, stay curious.